Okay, so now that we've learned how to kind of edit, move things around, use ripple edits, rolling edits, slipping, and things like that, what we probably want to do is start thinking about time. So let's say there's there might be a piece of footage that you want to change the timing on. You might want to slow motion that thing down, or you might want to speed it up. There's a couple different ways you can do that. Again, you can do all of this to sound files or video files, but if you just grab that with the black arrow tool and you go, so you make sure you select what you want to do it to. You go up to clip and you go in here and you go to speed and duration. So again, that's clip, speed, and duration. You click on that, and then here you can change the speed. And so 100% speed is just the normal speed. That's what you're going to do. So if you crank it up to 300 times and click OK on it, now whenever we watch this, we're going to get some hilarious, sort of fast motion, right? Which may or may not be what you want. Or you can go back up to clip. The same thing, go speed and duration and change that. And instead of that, you can go to 20%. And if we do that, you can see that it's going to now stretch that clip out. So it's a very long clip, but whenever we make that, when we go to that transition now, it's going to be very slow motion, sort of like, so you can see it's just going to kind of slowly move through there. So it's up to you how you want to make stuff go faster or slower, any of that kind of thing. Most of the time people are looking at slow motion things as opposed to speed them up. But that's the simplest way. But what that does is that slow-mos the whole entire clip, right? So that just means this whole run that I've cut up is going to go at 20%, which is going to be very slow, right? So we may not want to do that. We may want to go back in here and go back to speed and duration, change that to 100, so it's back to normal. And now, but what if you want to speed up just a part of it and kind of ramp up in the slow motion and then slowly, get back to normal? Well, there is, of course, a way to do that. Like everything else in this program, it's just buried deep within the settings. So what we want to do is we want to grab the clip we want to make sure we have it selected, and then we want to go in there and we want to go to let's see, you want to control click on it. So you go to your piece of footage, you control click on it, and you can see you've got a million options. So this is another way to get to things sometimes. But what you can do is you can go in here and you can go to show clip keyframes. And so you can keyframe opacity if you want to. You can keyframe motion if things are moving around. You can also do time remapping. So let's just click on that. And you'll see now, if we zoom in on it, that we should now have keyframes that show up. Oh, there it is. So we have these little keyframes, right? So if I want to, I can go to the front of this clip and I can just click and add a keyframe, and that'll give me a little like spot right there, right? And then if I want to ramp in, let's say I want it to go faster here, I can click on that. And then let's say I want it to go really slow in a certain spot, and then so I can put four little spots in there. Now if I grab this and I just drag it down, you can see how it's slipping the whole thing that direction. But now when I watch this footage, now it's slow motioned, right? So it's got real slow-mo as that drone comes around the front of him. And that can be that can be something that you'll really that you could really want to use. You could really slow motion that quite a bit if you wanted to. But of course, you got to remember it's also making the rest of your clip longer. So something to keep in mind, especially if you're supposed to end it at 2 minutes. So so that's it. If I wanted to make it fast motion, I could crank it up above. Like I can just go the other way, right? And now it's gonna get faster. So hey, look, quick, fast drone. So just depends on kind of what you're after for that. Just gonna pull this down and make it slow again. And so, but it's kind of a hard jump, right? So if I go from this into slow motion, now it's a real big kind of jump in there. So what you might want to do instead is you might want to go to you might want to ramp it. So in order to ramp that, you just basically, I don't know if you can see this, but as you get in there, there's the little marker there that shows you where that cut happened is actually in two pieces. And you select one part of it, and you can kind of drag them, and you can see how it ramps that thing apart. So now it's going to go slowly as it slowly moves into our slow motion, and then I can ramp it back up on the other side if I scroll this direction, wherever in the world that went. It's way down the line apparently. It's all the way over here. I can also grab that one and just ramp that one apart. So you can see, like, you got to be careful because you can add a whole lot of these and really make some craziness happen in your file. So, but you get the gist of how to kind of time remap stuff, I think, now. And so it's a very useful way to, like, just get in there and do some little subtle adjustments. If you want to, also you can there's this little Bezier curves that you can grab a hold of and change, like, kind of smooth it in and smooth it out. So that's what's called easing in and easing out for an edit or a slow motion thing or something like that. So that's some time tricks that you can play around with.